It's your homie, the one and only that'll give a chick my baloney and not a marriage ceremony. Freaky Jersey Tales back in the building, here to tell you some freaky Jersey tales. But this will also be another episode of Tales of a Simp. So please forgive me, Lord, for I have simped. This will probably be my simpiest Tales of a Simp episode. This might be a little long one, so bear with me, y'all. Alright, let's get it started. This was back in high school when I was around 15, 16 years old. At the time, I had already somewhat dealt with girls when it came to a little bit of touching, a little bit of kissing, passing love, nose flirting, etc., etc. But I never had a so-called real relationship yet. I never had someone to call an actual girlfriend. And in my high school, it was every guy's number one mission to get into a relationship and have a girlfriend. There was a lot of peer pressure to get into a relationship or have sex with chicks in high school. So a lot of dudes were always getting on me like, hey, yo, why don't you have a girlfriend yet? I don't ever see you with a girl. What, are you scared to talk to girls or something? There was a little truth to that because back then I was super shy and super nervous around girls. But every once in a while, I build up some courage to shoot my shot. So there was this girl in my gym class that I was really feeling. Brown skin chick, smooth skin, long braided hair, slim body, nice lips, zero fat on her. We'll call her Nia. Sometimes we would have small talk with each other. And one day, okay, my memory gets a little cloudy here. But one day, we were somehow in the cafeteria after there was a fire drill, I think. And the cafeteria was mostly empty. It was me and my boy sitting at the table chatting. And Nia happened to be there waiting for her friends to arrive. I guess she was bored, so she came over and sat down at the lunch table to chat with me. When we were chatting, my boy is sitting there mad hype, smiling and giggling, acting a little awkward. He's giving me that look as to say, yeah, spit that game, bro, yeah. And I could tell Nia was getting uncomfortable by the way my boy was acting. I don't know if she was attracted to me or not, but I figured since she came over to me, I'll take a gamble and shoot my shot. So eventually I asked if I could get her number and she gave it to me. She left the table once her friends arrived and me and my boy were both hella excited that I got a number. So after texting Nia for a couple of weeks, I told her we should make it official. So she thought about it and eventually agreed. She said she'll even make an exception for me because she doesn't usually date younger guys. She told me she usually dates grown men around their early 20s because her ex-boyfriend is like 23 or something like that. So I'm super excited and I told all my boys that she's my girlfriend now. I'm fantasizing about all the things we could do together and how I could tell my family about her and how I'll meet her family and how I could take her out on dates and hold hands and whatnot. So after we made it official, there were days at school I tried to hold her hand, and after a few seconds she'll let go of her hand and be like, ooh, my hand is getting sweaty. Then some days I'll go to kiss her on the lips and she move her face away, just give me a hug and dip. So I was confused and felt stupid because I'm getting rejected by my own quote unquote girlfriend. So I sent her a text message and asked if she likes me. She said, well, duh, why would I make it official with you if I didn't like you? I said, because you don't seem like you're interested in me. You don't like to hold hands, you don't like to cuddle, you won't kiss me. She's like, well, because I just got out of a relationship, so I want to take it slow and I don't like PDA. I'm like, what's PDA? She said that means public display of affection. So I'm like, oh, okay. I was sad to hear that, but I tried to respect it. I told my boy what she said and he's like, yo, your girl is weird. So I decided to respect her choice not to do public display of affection and wait patiently until she's ready. So all I got was a short hug from her every day. A few days later, she randomly breaks up with me through text and says she's not ready for a relationship because she's not over her boyfriend yet. or her ex-boyfriend. So I was hurt and upset. I thought things were going well, and I told everyone that she's my girlfriend. I'm embarrassed because now when people ask me about her, I have to tell people that we broke up. Then I think after a month or so, she comes back to me saying she's over her ex and wants to get back together again. So I took her back because I missed her a lot. So once we got back together, it was the same thing with the PDA stuff. But I remained patient because at the time I thought she was worth the wait. But over time, I grew more and more frustrated because of this so-called PDA, lack of attention and communication. Some of my boys told me to holler at other girls on the side since Nia's not acting interested in me or giving me attention. So I'm like, nah, I want to be a good, loyal, faithful, good guy. I would never want her to cheat on me, so I want to remain faithful. I'll just give it some time and eventually she'll give me some loving. Also, I kept trying to take her out on a date, but she always had some excuse that she was busy or going out with the girls. I started getting tired of asking her out on a date, so I waited around hoping she would ask me, which of course she never did. You know, one of the worst feelings in the world is when you're in a relationship and you feel so empty and lonely inside every single day. She claimed that she's in love with me too. Every day I'm thinking to myself, like, what is the point of having a girlfriend when I barely see her and I can't do anything with her? But I just stuck around hoping that she would finally give me some love. But it gets worse, y'all. It gets worse. It's a little hard to do this video because it's embarrassing, but this is Tales of a Simp, so bear with me. Alright, so even with all this happening, for some reason, I felt the need to defend this chick when other guys tried to get at her. So for example, there was a dude that was always in her face acting thirsty as hell. Let's call him P. I asked Nia about him and she's like, oh, he likes me and he's annoying, whatever. Okay. So I went up to him. I pulled him to the side privately to respectfully tell him to chill because that's my girl. He's like, oh, that's yours? Oh, my fault. Okay, cool. All right, cool. We shook hands, went about our business. All right, and another day, me and one of my boys was walking in the hall, right? And in the distance, I happened to see P walking up behind Nia, and he put his arm around her. She didn't even move his arm either. Instantly, I'm livid. My boy's like, yo, FJT, you see that? My boy's like, yo, what you gonna do, FJT? I was so pissed I couldn't even talk. So my girl walked outside, and I ran up on P, and I threw him against the vending machine. Boom! And I'm like, yo, what'd I tell you? Get your fucking hands off my girl. Yeah, my boy even hopped in. He's like, yo, stop touching my nigga's girl. Then everyone started crowding around to see the scuffle. I'm gonna keep it real. P wasn't no punk because he was fighting us back. Like, get off me. Then another day, I was in gym class. Me and my boy were walking, and Nia was walking 10 feet in front of me with her cousin. Out of nowhere, a dude walks up behind her, slaps her on the butt hard as hell. She immediately turned around and looked at me. My boy looked at me with his mouth wide open. He's like, FJT, let's get him. So my boy grabs him up, puts him against the gym mat on the wall, like mad hard. Boom. And dude was kind of soft, so he was fake laughing, trying to pretend he's not scared. So I basically said, why would you touch my girl's butt? And he's like, oh, that's your girl. My fault. So the entire time we were in class, he over apologized to me and said that I'm such a lucky guy to have her. And then he apologized to her. It's a crazy thing. I'm going around putting everything on the line to protect this girl, and she doesn't even treat me good, and she doesn't even claim me. Almost nobody knew we were in a quote-unquote relationship unless I told people. You think that's painful to hear? So check this out. I got more. Sometimes when I ask my so-called girlfriend out on a date, She tell me that she has to go out with her girls. Take a guess where they went. Can you take a guess? They weren't going to paint each other's nails. Nah. They didn't have sleepovers. Oh, no. Nah. You know what they would do? They would go to house parties in the hood. So she would rather go to house parties to twerk on some random niggas rather than go out on a date with me. And a dude named Marcus from our school loved to rub it in my face too. So when we rode the yellow school bus in the morning, Marcus would talk about who was at the party. He would say, yeah, Joey was there, Keisha was there. And then he'll point to me like, his girl was there. Yeah, his girl. Man, that was so embarrassing. I remember one day at school, I asked my girl, so what you doing this weekend? And she said, nothing. I said, no parties, no hanging out with the girls. She said, no, because everyone else is busy. So I hesitated and then I asked, so if you're not busy doing anything, how about you finally let me take you out since we never went out on an official date yet? She's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, we do need to do something. She's like, yeah, let's do that. And she's like, I'll keep you posted. I'm super excited. I told my boy that we finally about to have a first date. So later on Friday afternoon, I asked her if I could take her out to dinner and a movie tonight. And I was broke without a job, so my mom was nice enough to give me some money to take her out. So Nia ignored my message. I asked her again about the date. Then she wrote back and said, something came up and I can't do it. So I said, what about Saturday or Sunday? She's like, just forget about it. We could schedule something some other time. So I gave my mom back the money. And I lied and told my mom, I'm super tired and I'm just going to go to sleep early. As soon as I went upstairs and shut my door, I turned my phone off, turned the lights off, jumped into bed. I just started crying like a baby. I was punching my bed and swinging in the air, Boys in the Hood style. I know y'all remember that Cuba Gooding Jr. scene, you know? I was going through different emotions while talking to myself. I was questioning myself, asking, why am I tolerating this? So I decided I was done. I turned my phone back on. I texted her and said, you never give me any time. I tried to hang with you multiple times, but you rather go out to parties. You don't love me. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm done. And then I turned my phone off and went to sleep. I couldn't sleep much because I was so upset. Eventually, I woke up and turned my phone back on. My phone is vibrating like crazy because of the text message notifications. My heart instantly dropped because I knew it was from her. So I looked at her text messages and she wrote essays. I don't remember exactly what she wrote, but she's basically saying, I can't believe you're breaking up with me. I do love you, but you don't love me because you wouldn't be breaking up with me for no reason. I told you that I have to go to parties because I'm in a party group. It's not like I want to go to these parties. I would rather hang out with you if it was my choice. And well, what else she say? She said something like, and I was actually planning a special date with you, but you're too impatient, yada, yada, yada. I didn't believe her one bit. So we went back and forth and said our goodbyes in a not so nice way. When I went back to school, it was real awkward seeing her. There was so much tension between us. And my boy kept telling me every time I had a conversation with other people, especially another female, she stares at me for mad long. I even caught her staring at me multiple times. So fast forward weeks later, she sent me a random text saying that she misses me. I texted back like, I miss you too. I was excited because that girl was on my mind every single day. Why? Don't ask, because I have no freaking idea why. So once we got back together, now she's making a serious effort to go out on a date with me. So we planned a date on Friday night. I let her pick the movie since there wasn't anything I wanted to see. Plus, I just wanted to be with her, so I didn't care what we watched. She picked a romance comedy movie So the movie started around 6 p.m. and my mom was going to drive us there. We were about to leave the house to go pick her up, right? So Nia texts me and says she isn't ready yet and let's do a later movie time. She says something about she has to shower and do her hair. I asked my mom if we could pick her up later because she's not ready yet. My mom starts going off like, oh, your girlfriend needs to learn how to be on time. So Nia had us go to the latest movie showing. So we pick her up and my mom is super excited to meet her for the first time. We get dropped off at the movies, get the tickets, drinks, candy, proceeded to see this whack romantic comedy. Since she made us late to the movies on a Friday night, we had to sit all the way in the very first row. I was pissed about it, but whatever. So once I calmed down, I started to get lovey-dovey. I held her hand, we kissed at times, and it felt so good. I finally got a chance to do some PDA with the girl I jerked off to. So after the movie, I saw a text from my mom saying that she could drop us off at a restaurant if we want to get something to eat. I asked my girlfriend if she wanted something to eat, but she said no. She said she has to go home. So she went to use the bathroom after the movie. When she came out the bathroom, she's playing on her cell phone and she's huffing and puffing, complaining. I asked, what's wrong? She says a guy from school keeps calling and texting her. She showed me some of the text messages and let me listen to the voicemails that he sent her. And he's on the voicemails like, you're so beautiful. Just give me a chance. Oh, I love you. I'll do anything for you. I have to have you. So my mood went. I'm instantly pissed off. So I'm like, why are you entertaining this dude? She claims that he's harassing and stalking her and he won't leave her alone. So I'm like, oh, give me your phone. I know what to do. She told me no. And she said, please don't run up on him or fight him at school because he's one of her mom's favorite students. I was pissed about it. But me and my mom eventually took Nia home. So it always seemed that some guy is always lurking in the background, or it was always something with another dude. The drama never ended. Another thing that bothered me is I would get real jealous because she was obsessed and always talking about Chris Brown, saying, oh, Chris Brown this, Chris Brown's so amazing. Oh, when I was at his concert, he was looking at me. Oh, I love Chris Brown. Chris Brown, Chris Brown, Chris Brown. And I'm asking myself, why is she more into Chris Brown than she is into me? Why doesn't she obsess about me like that? Like, I'm not allowed to do anything with her. She won't even let me do PDA or take pictures with her and put it on social media or nothing. Another thing that made me super mad and jealous is when I was on the phone with her one day. She was walking in Philly and some random older dudes drove beside her shouting, calling her beautiful and, oh, yeah, let me get your number. Yeah. And immediately the phone hangs up. Calling back. No answer. Probably called like 10 times. Still no answer. So I text her. I didn't hear back from her for like over an hour. This chick gonna tell me an hour later that her phone died. So it just magically died when some dude's trying to holler at you, huh? I wanted to break up with her for that because I didn't believe her at all. So the sucker in me thought, well, I don't have any proof, so it's not technically right if I break up with her. When I told people all the things that she did, people would usually say, what's wrong with you? Why did you stay with her? Damn it, I was like 15, 16. I didn't know any better. I was young and dumb, alright? Damn! Something else that pissed me off when we were at school, I stayed after school one day because there was a basketball game. She's a cheerleader, so I went there by myself to support her. Whenever she had a little break, she'll come talk to me. During one of the breaks, there was a dude sitting way on top of the bleachers calling her name. She's like, I'll be right back. She's like, I'm gonna go talk to my older brother. He's not really her older brother, but they known each other for a long time supposedly. And he's about 10 deep with all of his boys. So after she goes up there, all I hear him say is, who the fuck is that nigga? Why are you with him? Who that nigga? Why are you with that nigga? And she's like, stop it. So eventually I turn around with an angry facial expression, and all the dudes are grilling me hard as hell. When I turn back around towards the court, someone said, yo, he better not look back up here. So I turned around again, and they continued to grill me mad hard. When I turned back around facing the court, one of the dudes said, yo, if he keep turning around, I'm gonna slap the shit out of him. And another dude was like, yeah, and I'm gonna follow up, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of him. So I'm shaking my head thinking, wow, I'm minding my business and these dudes are talking about jumping me. But nothing happened. They were just chatting shit. They didn't do nothing. And Nia seen how pissed I was, and she's like, oh, don't take it personal. My big brother is just overprotective. And after dealing with all this nonsense, I'm still not getting any love from her. Nia is a couple years older than me, so she had a job and got a driver's license and car at 17 years old. She got a cheap little busted Nissan Hoopty that always broke down. All of my boys was like, yo, your girl got a car. She could pick you up and y'all could go everywhere. I was also excited because she also told me that once she gets her car, we'll definitely hang out a lot. But did that happen? Nope. There was always some lame excuse that she's busy. But one day, she told me that her mom isn't going to be home after school, so we could leave school together in a car to basically have sex at her crib. Finally! This is what I've been waiting on. I told my boy, like, yo, we about to get it in. My boy's like, yeah, FJT, yeah. Then towards the end of the day, she texted me like, change of plans, something came up. So I kind of spazzed out on her and we went back and forth. I'm frustrated mentally, physically, emotionally, and sexually. I'm in a relationship and I still feel so lonely. Back in those days, Facebook was really popular, but the website myspace.com was still somewhat popular. And on MySpace, I got a message from a young light-skinned chick that I was highly attracted to. She was giving me a million compliments on my pictures. Then I started giving her a million compliments. Next thing you know, we exchanged numbers, got on the phone, and she's playing with herself, moaning my name, and saying she wants me right now and yada, yada, yada. I was like, yo, let's link up ASAP. And she agreed, and we made plans to go to the movies. I didn't tell her I had a girlfriend. I don't even think she asked if I had a girlfriend. And after making these plans, I'm thinking to myself, man, this is so wrong because I'm in a relationship. Should I be doing this? But my girlfriend isn't satisfying me or giving me any attention and doesn't want to hang out with me. But this girl does, and she's super attractive. So my mom dropped me off at the theater. I met the girl at the movies, and she showed up early. She looked amazing. And she was instantly touching and kissing all over me. It was amazing. Long story short, we ended up getting it in the movie theaters. She was a chick I talked about in my old movie theater story video. Only the super OG subscribers remember that video, because that was the first Freaky Jersey Tale video I ever uploaded on YouTube. So shout out to the OG subscribers that have been watching me for years. I appreciate y'all for sticking around. But yo, after I smashed light skin, I'm thinking, damn, I just cheated on my girlfriend. It was technically wrong, but it felt oh so right. Oh! And after we got it in, we took a selfie together that I still have till this day. When she got back home, she called me on the phone like, so are we boyfriend and girlfriend now? I'm like, huh? She's like, if you want to continue to have sex with me, you have to be my boyfriend because I'm not a hoe. I'm not a hoe. I only sleep with guys if they're my boyfriend. So I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Basically, in her mind, having sex is justified as long as she could call that guy her boyfriend if questioned by other people, because she's afraid of getting labeled by a hoe by society. Even though she didn't know me from a can of paint, and even though she slept with me on the first night within 20 minutes of meeting me and tried to have sex with me without a condom at first. But I made sure I still put on a condom. I was a super simp back then, but thank goodness I still had some sense. So when I went back to school, I was bragging to all my boys. I told them not to tell anybody because I didn't want it to get back to Nia. Towards the end of the day, I saw Nia at gym class. We were walking and talking until the bell rang, meaning that the class is over. So we were getting ready to walk into our separate locker rooms, to get dressed and get ready to leave school. And before I went into the locker room, she says with a slight grin on her face, "Oh, by the way, I heard you was chilling with that John." Heart instantly dropped. Boom. Huh? What John? She's like, mm-hmm. And walks away wagging her finger. I'm like, damn, how the fuck did she know? Damn, so somebody told her. I trusted these dudes not to tell nobody. So I went to my boy like, yo, look at me. Did you tell somebody? He's like, nah. So I text Nia like, so what joint you talking about? And she's like, you know who I'm talking about. You're playing stupid. So I put my phone down, took a deep breath, like, all right, I guess I'm gonna just have to fess up. Then she texted me saying that she had sources that some chick was laying all up under me in class. So I'm thinking, hold up. She's not talking about the red bone chick that I piped out at the theater. She's talking about somebody else. So I was about to fess up to something completely different. The chick that she's talking about, I have no idea who she's talking about. So I'm pulling teeth for hours trying to get the answer out of her. I gave up because she wouldn't tell me. Hours later, she finally told me she's talking about a short, light-skinned, slim, thick Puerto Rican chick with big lips and a bubble butt at gym class. And we'll call her Jocelyn. Is Jocelyn my type? Yes. Was I secretly messing around with her? No. Did we ever flirt? No. So I explained to Nia that we were never cuddled up, flirted, or anything. The closest me and Jocelyn were near each other was when we were sitting on the outside bleachers sharing the same headphones while listening to music from my boy's iPod. I think it was a 10-row bleacher setup. I was sitting on the top bleacher and Jocelyn was sitting on the bleacher directly below me. And my boy was sitting on the bleacher directly below me next to Jocelyn. I had one headphone in my ear and she had the other headphone in her ear. So my girlfriend at the time, her friends and cousins lied and said that me and Jocelyn were hugged up and cuddling when we weren't even physically touching at all. And I could see why Nia got so mad at the thought I was hanging out with Jocelyn. Because Jocelyn is pretty attractive and damn near all the guys in high school wanted to smash bad. Every time she walked by, guys were staring at her butt damn near on the verge of drooling. I remember one dude, he randomly slapped her butt. And Jocelyn, she's from the hood, so instead of telling the principal, she gets some older Latino dudes to handle it. And the Latinos, they always stuck together in my school. Some of my boys told me they even caught some of the teachers staring at Jocelyn's bubble butt. I'm talking about the male and female teachers. Jocelyn had a boyfriend that graduated our high school a long time ago, and he's a grown-ass man, and she's still a minor. The young girls at my school always love to date older men because they have their own car and apartment, and they could buy weed and liquor for them. So Nia gave me an ultimatum. She said I have to cut the Puerto Rican girl off completely or our relationship is over. She said I'm not allowed to talk to her, be near her, say hi to her, nothing. I said, how am I supposed to not communicate with her when we have a lot of classes together? She told me to figure something out. I told her no, because that's my friend, and as I said before, me and her were never cuddled up. So Nia breaks up with me. I'm pretty sure you guys can guess what happened after that. We ended up getting back together again. Yes, I know. Cringy, right? So we're back together, but I'm still communicating with Jocelyn whenever we're in class. And one day Jocelyn comes up to me with the fear in her eyes, almost on the verge of crying. She says, FJT, please tell your girlfriend that I don't want any problems. Nia and her cousin tried to fight me in the locker room. I said, what? She told me that my girl keeps trying to fight her because she thinks that we're secretly messing around. So Nia lied and told some people at school that me and Jocelyn were messing around. I talked to Nia and told her that, yo, this is not cool. Because Nia was throwing dirt on Jocelyn's name, trying to use divide and conquer tactics. Jocelyn broke down in tears one day because that false information was getting back to her boyfriend. I was also hearing rumors that her boyfriend wanted to fight me. So Jocelyn was staying far away from me to the best of her ability, but she couldn't stay too far away because we had so many classes together. I told her that if she wants to stop talking to me, then fine, but I'm not going to let my girlfriend punk me by telling me who I can and can't talk with. Eventually, Jocelyn started talking with me again because she didn't like chatting with the other people in class. She considered me and my boy the cool, fun guys in class. So one day at gym class, me and my boy and Jocelyn were walking around. Out of nowhere, Nia comes from behind me, grabs me by the arm to talk to me. She's touching all over me and I'm getting excited. And I'm like, yo, why are we walking so fast? She's smiling mad hard and she's saying, oh, I miss you. We don't talk much anymore. A while after gym class, Jocelyn's friend comes up to me angry, like, yo, you need to get a hold of your girl. I'm confused, like, what, huh? Why? Then Jocelyn was like, you didn't see it, but when your girlfriend grabbed you by the arm in gym class, she turned around and looked at me with a smirk like, as to say like, yeah, that's my man. I didn't know what to say. I was surprised, but I wasn't surprised. I just shook my head and said, Jocelyn, I'm sorry. I felt bad because Jocelyn is scared and she's truly innocent in the situation. My memory is a little fuzzy and I don't remember too much afterwards, but me and Nia broke up a couple more times for whatever reason, and we never got back together after that. So we decided to be cordial and say hi whenever we pass each other in the hall, and may even have small talk here and there. So after going through all of that drama, after going through all of that headache and breakups, she never even let me smash. Damn. But one more thing I'll tell y'all before I bounce. Years later, graduated, and I was working at a minimum wage job, and I saw two women come through the door with little kids. They're customers to come in to buy something, whatever, cool. Eventually, they walk up to me. I said, what's going on? How y'all doing? One of the girls says to me, hey, FJT. It took me a minute to process in my brain, and I'm like, oh, what's up, Nia? We had some small talk, and she tells me she has kids now. I'm like, oh, okay, congratulations. All right, nice to see you. Take care. At first, I didn't recognize her because she gained so much weight that her face was unrecognizable. She looked horrible. She didn't look the same at all, man. Jiggly arms, triple chins, all that. I called my boy up and told him about it. He's like, yo, FJT, you dodged the bullet. I said, hell yeah. Tales of a simp, y'all. Tales of a simp. If y'all have any similar experiences, or if you've ever simped bad like this in the past, please share your story in the comments. Stay tuned because I have so many more tales of a simp stories and freaky Jersey tales on the way. Peace, brothers.